In this episode I would like to give you a little guide about Bulgaria. So it's gonna be a very short video, but I'm going to give you like very important information, because there are lots of comments and questions under the videos, you know, how, what and where. So today I'm trying to answer all these questions, okay? So first of all, how to arrive in Bulgaria? Well, very simple, you know. These days you have like plenty of cheap or more expensive flights to capital Sofia, or there are some flights also to town of Plovdiv or Black Sea, Burgas and Varna. I think that Burgas and Varna, the roads are open around maybe June, maybe May, something like this. But through all year you can get to capital Sofia or Plovdiv without any problems. Ryanair, Wizz Air, if you are looking for a cheap one, the more expensive Lufthansa, and so on. Okay, so second thing, as you remember, from 2026 Bulgaria is part of the Eurozone. So from now on, you know, the only one currency that is accepted in Bulgaria is Euro. They don't accept Bulgarian lev anymore. They just they have been withdrawn with 1st of February. Third thing, when you arrive to Bulgaria, the transportation, you have a couple of options. So the first option is just to rent a car. Okay, there are plenty of companies where you can rent a car from. I don't really have any favorite one because I didn't really rent a car here, but there are plenty near to airports, so it's very easy. You just land and a few steps away you can book a car. Very important thing you need to remember: if you drive by the car in Bulgaria, and especially if you go to the remote places, don't rely on the GPS, don't rely on the Google map, on directions or something like this. Why? Because they are not accurate. What I mean is, sometimes from point A to point B, the Google map will show you the best road, but the problem is that this road might be just not drivable at all. I've met a couple of people, my subscribers from the channel, and luckily they asked me, you know, if that's the right way to get from the point A to point B, because Google Map really is filled with mistakes, especially if it comes to the southern part of Bulgaria. I don't know how it's in the other parts, but I can tell from my experience in the southern part. So don't rely on Google Map. Once you plan a trip, make sure that at least there is a Google Street View. If there is no, don't risk. Don't risk, especially in Bulgaria, because you may really get into trouble, especially if we are with the low passenger car. If you are with the Jeep, okay, I would say you can make it for the most of the through the most of the roads, but again, be very careful, because the conditions of the roads, especially in the remote places somewhere between the mountains, are really bad. So I would suggest you to stick to the main roads, and then just park your car and take a walk and make sure if the the road is drivable. Okay, that's very important, so keep it in mind. Don't rely on the GPS. Doesn't matter how accurate the map is, it doesn't apply to Bulgaria. Second thing, if you don't rent a car, you can get the bus. The bus coverage is I would say in the like 90% of Bulgaria. So you will get with the bus basically everywhere. The thing that you need to keep in mind is that in very remote places there might be a bus just once a day or maybe twice a day, or sometimes depending on the day of the week there might be not bus at all. Okay, so when you plan your trip you have to consider that fact. And when you arrive to the, for example, like central bus station, you will need to find out through the information if you have like a bus connect from the point B to point C, let's say. Yeah, so you have to remember the buses usually are synchronized, but they don't wait. For example, if there is a traffic on the road and you won't get on the time to point C, they won't wait you. So be careful, because you may have to wait one day to get the bus and get to the place you want to go. Yeah, the third way of the transport is trains. So in contrast to the buses, the trains won't take you everywhere, because most of the southern part of the Bulgaria doesn't have train lines at all. So the lowest point in the central southern part, I would say, is just Asenovgrad, a town which is near to Plovdiv. From there you can only get the bus to get to the southern part. There are connections, I would say, more to the east or more to the west, where you can get through the Bulgaria, for example, to Greece or to Turkey. Okay, but this very like a central southern part, there are no train lines at all. So you need to keep that in mind, if you plan your trip on the train. Okay, another thing, accommodation. If you got lost somewhere in the village and you can't find anything on the booking.com or Airbnb, don't worry, because in the most of the places you will find some place to sleep. Okay, just simply ask the locals. If you don't know the language, use the technology. We have technology today. You can use translate, ChatGPT or something like this. There are no really language barriers anymore, if you have your phone with you. So ask locals, and definitely I can assure you that in every single place you will find a place to stay. They won't be expensive, I guess. They might be like something about 10 euros up, depending on the quality. Okay, let's say quality of the accommodation. So don't worry about that, because you won't be lost. So if you get even in the very, very small village, just ask locals. Knock to the doors. Don't worry, people are really open, and it shouldn't be a problem, in finding an accommodation. People are very helpful, so we can count on their help. It's okay, Another thing, safety. Bulgaria is pretty safe country. Okay, so really, if you don't look for troubles, the troubles won't find you. In contrast to the other capitals or towns in Europe, I have to say, with big confidence, that Bulgaria is a very safe country. Just to simply, don't go, into the, for example, like gypsy villages at night. Do you know what I mean? Just simply don't do stupid things. If you know what I mean. If you are anywhere in Bulgaria, like in the very remote areas, small villages, people are very friendly. You won't get robbed, I can assure you. Nobody is going to beat you up or something like this. You are totally safe. Bulgaria is very, very safe country. No matter what the other guides or the videos says or the statistics, Just don't believe them, don't trust it. You know, I can tell you, you know, I've been living here long enough, my friends too. You know, everybody as one can assure you that the Bulgaria is super safe country. Okay, so really, you know, there is no problem. You know, there is no danger, you know, behind the corner. It's not London or Birmingham or, you know, other place, for example, or in France or in United Kingdom. Bulgaria is very safe country. Another thing, where I should go? Oh, that's very tricky question, because Bulgaria has so much to offer. So I won't be telling about sunny beach and golden sands. You know, it's not this channel is not about places like this. So if you are a mountain guy, you have so many options in Bulgaria. There are plenty of mountains in Bulgaria. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, Bulgaria is covered by the mountains in around 65%. So that's a lot, you know, that's a lot. So you can go down to the south, where you have beautiful Rhodope mountains. In the central Balkans mountains, it's Stara Planina mountains that spread from basically a border of with Serbia up to the Black Sea. So you can take a very long trail. There is a trail, you know, from the border of Serbia up to the Black Sea. Beautiful mountains. Pirin, Rila, very high mountains. If you like to, you know, hike and go up to like 2,800, 2,700. Plenty of huts, you know, plenty of free huts where you can stay for a night. They are fully equipped in most of the cases. So yeah, if you are on the mountain guy, you will definitely find plenty of places. The good start point, if you want to go to the southern part, I would say is Dospat, and you start going towards, let's say, in the eastern direction. So Dospat, yeah, somewhere here, Dospat, and start just going from there. Dospat is really beautiful, and it's placed in the this closer Rhodope mountains. Right. Okay. So if you are looking for the high mountains, then you can, for example, choose Bansko. I know it's very kind of like a touristic place, but it's very good start, very good point to start. Okay, so you can go there, and from there you can try to hike, you know, in many different places. In Stara Planina, oh, there is like a really many places. There is like a plenty of towns that are placed underneath of the mountains. So basically you can find a lot. What else? If you are more to the seaside, well, definitely forget about the sunny beach and golden sand. That's not a place for you, but you can go down to south, for example, Sinemorets, or you can go up to the north, closer to the border with Romania. There are plenty of places that are not really occupied by the tourists, even in the high season. So go to the north or go down to the south. You will find like a plenty of empty small beaches at the seaside, and very beautiful forest, oak forest there, very close, by the way, to the Turkish border. What else? Yeah, Bulgaria has plenty of hot springs. Everywhere there are hot springs for free, and there are the paid one. You will need to just like find more information, you know, in the travel guides, because, you know, I can't tell you now from my head where there are, but there are plenty of public ones, and public that are for free. So you just go, open it up, and they are clean. They are maintained by the locals, so don't worry, you know, you can use them. There is definitely one close to Sofia, I know, in the town called Železnica. It's public one, it's for free, and it's the water is, I think, maybe around like 40 or something degrees. It's a really good one. And there are another ones down in the Rhodope, Pirin, yeah, Rila, basically everywhere. There are plenty of hot springs, and very interesting fact, Bulgaria has the one of the hottest spring, even hottest spring in Europe. Even the hot spring is even hotter than the one that is on Iceland. And it's like around 90 or something degrees, if I'm not wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, the Bulgaria has the hottest spring in Europe, and it's placed in Sapareva Banya, which is not that far away from Sofia, I would say. Okay, another thing, we talk about travel, we talk about safety, about the currency, about the accommodation. Okay, if you are looking for a house to buy, I already gave you a guide in one of my previous videos. There are plenty of websites, but there is one, the most popular, I would say. It's called imoti.bg, so you can find it's a good start point, okay, for to start searching for recommendation. If you are looking for something cheap, go up to the northern part of Bulgaria, because there you will find definitely big houses for like a very reasonable price. The next thing, the prices in Bulgaria. Well, Bulgaria became very expensive, and we expect that it's going to be more expensive. If it comes to the food stocks, they are really expensive. They are even more expensive, surprisingly, than the most of the countries in Europe, even like Germany, Greece, Spain. And believe me, the same products in Bulgaria are sometimes twice more expensive than even in Germany. Funny thing is that if you go to the restaurant, in contrast to the other countries, the Bulgarian restaurants are quite cheap, I would say. I don't know how it works, but that's the way it is. So yeah, if you go to the most of the popular markets, the prices will be pretty high, I have to say. Well, what you can do, that's you can't have everything. Another thing very important that I forgot to mention is just, of course, internet connection and the network. If you arrive to Bulgaria, you can get a pay-as-you-go card, and I would recommend you, from my personal experience, to get vivabg.com, something like this. It's Viva.com, okay, Bulgarian one, because from my experience they have the best coverage in entire Bulgaria. Even if you go to the very small remote places, I can say that there most likely will be coverage for the Viva. In contrast to Yetel.bg, they don't really have coverage everywhere, from my experience. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe there are places where the Yetel has better coverage from the Viva.com, but from the places where I was going, there was just like a Viva.com, and there were no any other mobile operator. There are other ones like A1 or something like this, just don't buy them. Viva.com, I would say, is just the best. You can get a pay-as-you-go card for around like maybe €6, and you will have plenty of data. You can search a plan for this pay-as-you-go. For example, you want to have more data, and there you will have like plenty of internet, megabytes to use, gigabytes to use. Internet in Bulgaria is pretty fast. I have to say that's the very big plus. Bulgaria has one of the fastest internet in Europe. So the internet connection is basically everywhere here, works very good. You shouldn't have any problem with internet connection. What else is worth to see in Bulgaria? It really depends on the period when you come, yeah. So at the beginning of the year, there is really nice festival called Surva. You can watch my previous episode about this festival. It's the biggest masquerade in Europe. It's related to very ancient Slavic tradition, and the purpose is just to, you know, goodbye the winter. So you can face a lot of ancient rituals and traditions, taste very good Bulgarian alcohol, rakia or traditional wine, and plenty of dishes. There is another tradition called Baba Marta. It's just like Grandmom Marta. So on the 1st of March, all Bulgarians, they give to each other kind of white and red kind of brackets, chains or decoration. It's just like for luck, for health and for happiness. There are plenty of festivals, rock festivals, music festivals, alternative festivals, where you can connect with the nature. I mentioned about one place near to my place in Rodopi. It's called Future is Now. So there are plenty of courses, plenty of camps where you can find something interesting for yourself if you are up to the nature and the natural stuff. There is Wake Up festival, very big one, very popular one. And many different interesting festivals. So you can find this these days on the social media. I will try to link some of them underneath of the video, and there is one more thing. I will leave a link to PDF to this little guide that I just that I'm presenting to you guys. So you will have all this information that I just gave you in this video in the little PDF, so you can download it to your phone. I think that's all. The most important thing that I mentioned about here has been covered, and I hope this information will be useful for you. So if you come to Bulgaria in 2026, I hope that you will find really interesting places. You will spend and you will have very beautiful time. And that's it. I see you in the next episode. And what? See you in Bulgaria. Woo, 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 woo.